Good morning, kindred spirit. I guess I am ready to show you, or at least start to show you, my morning routine. And we always have to start at what things look like in here. But when I first get up, that is my bed. It is supposedly 42 degrees outside. And then it says feels like 35, and I concur. I do not have heat in here. The only thing that is cold though is the tips of my fingers, which once I get moving here will start to get the blood flowing to those extremities. I have my little indoor slippers on. This particular rug, it is showing a little bit of an age now, but I only bring it out when I have my slips on. And I try not to step on it with any footwear that has been outside. I only have Reflectix as insulation because I don't stay in cold places very much. This is just a plywood, and then my door is shut right now. So there is a little bit of a little air pocket in there. The blanket stops the draft a little bit. Pillows, I do not have anything of what you would call a traditional pillow. But the pillows that I have, each one has a purpose. We'll start with the one that doesn't really get unboxed that much, is that there is a fluffy robe in there that I love. But it's under protection unless I don't even know what circumstances it would be, but I just need a warm fluffy fix, and so I always know that that's there. This pillow here that looks like a heart, if you are a side sleeper like I am, and actually I think it goes like this. So your thigh would be here, your knee, and then your foot would go like that. I mean your calf, like that, and it keeps the spine aligned. And that is my intention here. My bed is only 26 inches wide, so it's been an adjustment. I have osteoporosis in my lower back, so I am very, 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 very conscious of how I move, especially as I get older. And one reason why I'm out here is movement and weight on the bones actually, helps to keep them as strong as you can. This is just a regular little occasional pillow, which is nice for when I'm just sitting up in bed here. So that's that purpose, but I don't sleep with that. We're just gonna dispose of that temporarily. This is what I want to show you here. This is called, and you might have seen this advertisement on the internet at some place. I'm not an affiliate, don't intend to be. And I have to say that this cube pillow has changed how I feel when I wake up in the morning, because head, shoulder, and it's memory foam, and it has been a game changer. Now I'm going to show you to the scary part, because I just parked this van at let's say 2 o'clock yesterday. I had a snack in here, happy hour I guess you would say, dinner, and I actually made 2 things. I made a mushroom soup, a big batch, and then I had some fresh shrimp that I needed to cook. It's for another recipe, but cooking it'll keep it for another day or so. And breakfast. That is the mess and I actually do a lot of cleaning as I go. There gets to be a certain point in the meal where, it's time to eat. And if you take time to clean it, it's going to get cold. Imogene is under the covers there somewhere. Around 10 o'clock, she will be peeking out. I make certain sounds that tell her it's time, or she makes certain sounds that tells me it's time. I can't believe that we can see this from here. I set up the wind turbine last night. Let's say 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The percentage of these batteries were 45%. It is now 9 a.m. the next morning. The wind has been blowing pretty steady all night long, and we're up to 73%. And stay tuned. That experiment continues. Shoes. I have all those shoes, including my indoor slippers. There's a purpose. And I have a couple of other shoes for different situations. You know, the Keens, and then my Birkenstock sandals, but they are packed away because it's too chilly for my toes to be seeing anything. I've been waiting a long time to see people, or someone out here, recommend an Italian coffee maker, and I have not I've not run across it. So you are going to be introduced. I mean, it's nothing new. Where are you? There we are. It's nothing new. There's the other part of it over here. But I just haven't seen it out here. And, you know, a big part of the whole coffee making process is what do you do with the grounds? And this, no muss, no fuss. That is exactly why I'm still using it after all these years. The cleanup process, start to finish, I think about, I don't know, half hour. And here's where we stand. Out of water, need to filter more, but I have to open up one of my little extra water cubes there, filter it into this container right there, because that's got my Sawyer filter on it, and then into the Brita. Don't have time for that right now, so we're gonna just pack it away. Usually what I do is fill that up every day and then fill this up. This is just an easy grab during the day thing for the water, and that's just the water. This is the gray water from the washing of the dishes. Yuck. And what I'm going to do is, this is my double duty here, you know, and potty, but also gray water. So I open that up, put this in. I have a large screen that goes there. So when I pour the gray water into the gray water bottle, there's no stuff in it, or as least as possible. This is the Italian coffee maker. We're going to get to that. Here's the rags. Today I did remember not to use paper towels. Yay, it takes the first time. I usually kind of work it like this, that, you know, I start with one. When that seems to be getting kind of dirty, then all of a sudden that's the one that's going to wipe up the counter. And I get another one, and don't let that one get quite as dirty, but it's damp. But then even then it gets to a point where it feels like that's enough. And then I usually end up with a third, and this is pretty dry, and I'll probably save it for the next time. As far as the rinsing, so I wash in there. I take this spray bottle and rinse in my trash can to get most of the soap off of it, because I don't want to be putting, I warmed that up, so I don't want to be putting cold water into that warm water, or at least I want it to stay as warm as possible for as long as possible. So I do that, rinse it off, and then I put it over here to drain. And in this blue bottle is alcohol, 99% alcohol that I spritz on top, sterilize it. I have to find a place for this because with the avian flu that is going on in the US, it's really reaching almost epic proportions. And eggs have just been getting more and more expensive. And I've heard people talking about it and, you know, kind of in a way that maybe we're getting gouged or something like that. But it's actually, the birds are getting sick. And when they get sick, they have to be euthanized. And so all of a sudden I've lost my taste for eggs. You know, the cost is $6 or $7 a dozen. And not just here in Quartzsite. Didn't even buy chicken. So now I'm not doing beef because of the alpha-gal tick bite that I have. It made me allergic to the alpha-gal enzyme. Now, for ethical reasons, I've lost my taste for eggs. Wow. That's a big step. And so I guess I'll tuck this away for a free pile somewhere near you. Did you think I was going to let that flop? Because I was trying to decide if that's what I wanted to do. All right, let's finish this up. Rinse it with the spray and then the alcohol, and then it has a little place over here because I use it almost every day. Everything clean and put away, ready for the next meal. What I did not clean is this Italian coffee maker. And everyday part of my routine actually is to kind of deep clean something, pick an object that, you know, is getting a little dirty. Far from trying to find things that don't show the dirt, I embrace things that do because it inspires me to clean them, even though sometimes it might seem a little bit further in between cleanings than it used to be. I start out with a story, of course. When I was working on acetique a couple of years ago, I went the whole summer, and not every morning, but a lot of mornings, the coffee would taste soapy. And at first I thought it was the cream, and then I thought maybe it was just the brand of coffee, and not once in that whole summer did I think about Googling it until one day I did. And what they recommended, or what they said that is soapy, the soapy taste means rancid coffee. And that had never happened before. Not that I have never ground coffee before, but I never was concerned. I felt like I drank it up fast enough. And now I get whole beans, and that solves the problem. And it is actually kind of a challenge, though, in regular grocery stores to find whole beans. That's the place that I'm always looking at. That's like, okay, what is this brand's place where they put ground or whole beans? And then you hone in on that, and okay, you know, not what I wanted. First world problems. I know. These are the deets of life. These are the things that we can choose to get irritated about or find humor in. And I try to find humor, I guess. It's important to me, coffee every day. Important to me. It's very much of a ritual. Brought my little coffee grinder with me. It does take some wattage. And I don't know how much it is, but it's worth it. I don't even need to know. Quality of life. Let me get back down into this drawer here. Is that I got this macaroni from the free pile. La la la. and a bag of rice, which is really going to come in handy. Plug this in, 2 scoops of coffee into here, grind it like it's no tomorrow. I do grind it pretty fine. And then I put the water to just below where the vent is. And that is good for 1 9-ounce cup of coffee. I can put it in this big coffee cup here and have room for cream. Oh, I'm going to pull that out because there is a little trick. Fill this up with water, put this in. This is where it gets a little tricky and I could use an extra hand, but we're going to do the best we can. In this drawer is a paintbrush. And what I do is I first, it feels weird breaking this down step by step, but first, because this gets a little dusty here, I tap it a couple times. And then I use that paintbrush to brush all the little coffee goodness, shake, I guess maybe you could call it, into the basket. Then I empty out the rest of it, and the brush really helps get everything in there. Then use the underside of this is a is a filter, and then you see a rubber ring there, and it has to be set up in that order. The water actually comes up through these little holes here, and it makes a sound. And while it's on the burner, I put this metal cup on top of it. So while this is cooking, my cup is getting warmed up, because it really is almost the perfect temperature once I put the cream in it. Putting it into a cold cup, not the experience I'm looking for. And luckily, that's a shout out to Mary. I went to her meetup yesterday, and luckily I can just put this cold metal cup on top of this cute little steaming coffee, and la la, done and done. If I was going to walk to Carolyn's RV, had to start about 10:30, so that gives me 10 minutes. I gotta skedaddle.